Evening, the toothless wonder. Well, one side anyway. My thought for the day. Well, as you know, and I've just told you, half my teeth have disappeared. Saturday, I'm going to have the other half taken. But my thought for the day is more. I'm not knocking people. I mean, I do my own criticism or critique of different things that happen here in the Philippines. But I was watching an English guy. I rather enjoy watching his videos, but I'm somewhat astounded that he got something like 14,500 views in just one day. And I'm thinking now, what's so special about this video? Well, I suppose he attracts a certain number of people because the kind of subjects that he talks about tend to reflect the situation he's in. And he's a good storyteller. And one of the things that he was telling us about in his most recent video is about how his wife's family are behaving towards him. I think he's quite aware that, like many of you who've got extended family here in the Philippines, how many of the families think, congratulations for meeting your foreigner boyfriend and later husband. Well, our lives are going to change somewhat from now on. And that's probably true. But of course, it only changes if you allow it to. If you are one of these people who I'll say is easily persuaded to be cajoled into making payments when really common sense tells you you're not really the local bank. And he was telling how if it's something serious like somebody in hospital, maybe if he's asked to contribute, that's fair enough. And I agree with him in that sense. But when he talks in terms of continued effort by the family to maybe put pressure on his wife, then I can also understand that that's a no-no, because after all, he married his wife, not the family. He married into the family, but he didn't marry the family in the sense that husband and wife look after each other. Clearly, he has raised an issue, and in effect, the issue is really one of, in a sense, sharing his dirty linen in public. And of course, as I know, you guys love a little bit of drama. And he has to walk a fairly delicate road between telling you what's really happening in his daily life as a family and what is necessary to get his point across. He also talks about his boat, I presume it's an outrigger of some form, one of the local, I suppose you call it virtually a canoe with stabilizing pieces on either side to go out to sea, to go fishing. So he's obviously an avid fisherman. Again, no problem with that either. But within the storyline, he weaves in a little bit of salacious stuff. He mentions about, I think he called it pag, which apparently is the word for prostitution. And of course, ears prop up. They hear a little bit of that. And I think we all know that we as foreigners or any person with money can buy services of people who are desperate to make $1 or $2 each day to feed their family. But I really don't think it's necessary to highlight that as a point within his videos, because in a way it rubbishes those less fortunate who are desperate to make a penny out of even maybe selling themselves to a multitude of different clients. We don't need to know that if he goes to some certain ferry that they're going to be hanging around looking for clients. I mean, if you want to find them, you'll find them in any country, in every part of a town. There'll be what you know as red light districts. But it is true to say that desperation and poverty comes along with that kind of service in the community. But we also have to remember that we are also living under a moral law here. And that is that we have to be very careful that we certainly don't promote it, but we certainly maybe also don't involve ourselves in such activity. Because to do so, we run foul maybe of immigration, and they can take as quickly as they give in terms of your ability to stay here in the Philippines. And when a country is such as it is morally driven by the Catholic Church and religion itself, we all know that it goes on, but we certainly shouldn't put ourselves at risk because it could be seen as exploiting somebody who's in need of your money when in fact it's an illegal process or an illegal activity here in the Philippines. So I know I've sort of weaved it into my conversation, but that's the reason I'm not trying to present myself as holier than thou, but I'm just warning you that it's not a participating activity here in the Philippines as a foreigner that you should promote or even get involved in. Because often some of these people are a little simple. Sometimes they're disabled. Sometimes you don't know to look at them that they are, but they're maybe just mentally not all there. And they're using the only means possible to gain some gainful employment to them. But it shouldn't be your opportunity to partake in such activities. So that's just my thought for this afternoon. A very heavy rain cloud came across and it certainly dumped gallons of water on the roads. So if you're out there on a motorbike, be careful. And always be careful in the rain anyway, because cars just don't seem to recognize you on a motorbike or a push bike as a fellow traveller along that piece of road. They're quite happy to douse you with gallons of water as they speed past you. So be careful, guys, and you have a good day. Bye now.